Hello, I'm Malcolm Jae O'Shea, and this is Mojo Riding. I'm an actor and a comedian, living in Los Angeles, making my dreams come true. And just last year, I got a motorcycle and learned how to ride it. And this channel is my journal as I ride my motorcycle all around Los Angeles, living my actor dreams. From film location, to auditions, to COVID tests, to tourist locations. You name it, I have video footage of me riding my bike there. On this channel, you get to see it all. So please, hit that like and subscribe button, sit back, and enjoy the ride. In today's episode, what I would like to share with you is my journey and how I got my motorcycle license, because that's a question I get all the time from my actor friends or from my other LA friends who are always struggling with this Los Angeles traffic. Before my story, follow me on Instagram also. My handle is @fine_arts_junkie with a Y. So please, follow me, check me out, and you'll see more about my actor's journey there. But today, we're going to talk more about motorcycle. How I got my motorcycle license and learned how to ride a motorcycle. First thing I did was, I did my homework, and I did my research. Most people, what they do is, they go online, they go to the DMV in California, look on their website. I'm sure it's different in every state. You just go, I'll put the website in the details for you. But in California, you go to the DMV website, go register for a weekend class that actually walks them through how to ride the motorcycle, and at the end of the class, you take the test for the physical test, and stay all the way to the end of the video, and you'll actually get to see what that test looks like at the DMV. Once you pass the physical test at the DMV's weekend course, and then all you have to do is go to the DMV and take the actual exam, and then you're done, and you have your license. I believe that's how that works. That's not what I did. I studied online, I went to the DMV, I took the written exam, got my permit, and then I went and I took a private course. I found this guy online, and I'll put his website in the details for you. He's called Class M1, and he does private lessons. For everything that he did for me, it cost me about $1,100, but there was an additional service included in that $1,100 that was like $250 or something like that, which is where he brought his bike to the DMV for me to take the test there, the road test there. So that was a nice little feature that he offered. And before getting my permit, I had to buy my helmet, because they want to see that you have a DOT approved helmet when you get your permit, jacket, and my gloves. And then I went for this class. Now, this was just a 4-hour session that we met on a garage roof in Hollywood. We essentially spent about 4 hours on the roof of this garage. He first showed me the static controls of the bike and how you work everything from the clutch, the brakes, the blinkers, all of it. He showed me all those things. He talked over like the physics of the bike, how a motorcycle works. He was very detailed and very careful. And then he showed me how to do different maneuvers, and then he had me do those maneuvers on the bike. And he brought his own bike for all this. It was a 150. It was a Yamaha Grom 150. So it was a fun little bike. Anyway, he taught me almost everything I know now about motorcycles, other than what I've learned from watching YouTube videos, and then from what I know from riding a bicycle. And that's another caveat that I'll throw into this. Like, I had one 4-hour session with this guy, which was a private session, and in that session, I learned a lot. But I do know a lot about bikes and the physics of bikes and how they work from my days riding a bicycle. As a kid, from age 8 to 16, I basically rode a bicycle around all the way across my hometown, all over the place, through traffic, all sorts of things. I still rode a bike after that. That is definitely a caveat I'll put in there. I don't think that you need to be an expert bicyclist to become a motorcycle rider, but it certainly helped me. Now, after I had this private lesson, I met with the teacher at the DMV to take the test on his bike. Now, when we did this, it had to be like a few weeks apart from my lesson to the test, because it's very hard with the DMV website to schedule your test. They only have so many slots, and so it takes time. Long story short, I didn't pass the test, because there's a point in the test where you have to go up to the top of a circle, and you go through the circle 2 times, and you come back down, and you go back up again, and go around the circle the other direction. Well, I think on my 3rd pass around the circle, I wobbled just a little bit. One of my tires, my back tire, left the circle, and that automatically disqualified me from the riding test. So the guy failed me. And at that point in time, I didn't want to have to pay the teacher to come back out, but he gave me some really great advice. He said, well, go out, buy your bike, because you're good. You know how to ride. and then just practice up here in these hills, up in Burbank and Glendale, and ride around here, and then go to the DMV here and practice taking the test, and just do that for a few weeks, you know, and then come back and take the test. And that's exactly what I did. And honestly, I think that was the best advice he could have given me, because it made me even more comfortable and even made me a better rider. When you have a permit on a motorcycle, you're allowed to own a motorcycle and you're allowed to operate a motorcycle without a passenger, and so long as you stay off of the freeways, and you're still allowed to operate the motorcycle so you can learn how to ride it. And so that's what I did. Granted, this is all in the state of California. I'm sure there's different rules and different ways to go about things in other states. I'm going to put that caveat out there as well. So at any rate, the motorcycle I bought it, and that's where we're riding here today. I bought a 2021 BMW G310R Motorrad, and I bought it at the BMW Motorcycles of Burbank. And I'll put their information in the details as well. They're a great little bike shop. They have tons of bikes in there. They have a bunch of Triumphs and some BMWs, and I believe probably a Yamaha or two. But they have definitely a few bikes in there. My bike is a 300cc bike, if you couldn't tell from the type it is. But, you know, so it's not a big bike, but it's fast. It tops out at about 100. Don't ask me how I know. It's a fun little bike. It does what it needs to do. It's got plenty of acceleration, and I love it. And I love riding it around. And remember to stay here till the end of the video, because I'm actually going to share with you watching the DMV test here. I'm a big believer in seeing something, watching something, and having that help you develop muscle memory. So I myself, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I watched a lot of YouTube as well as riding around in the hills and taking this private lesson. So I do want to mention that. One of the videos I definitely want to recommend to everybody, watch it like 5-6 times. It's called A Twist of the Wrist 2. I will put a link in the description for that as well. And then there's 2 YouTube channels I definitely want to shout out. There's a guy called Yami New. It's a great YouTube channel. Talks about being a beginner rider. Talks about all sorts of different bikes. Great coverage of what to do and what not to do. As well as Dan the Fireman, who he shows lots of first-person footage like mine here, and talks through close calls and shows lots of accident footage. So you definitely get to see what not to do watching those videos. So please watch my channel. Hopefully you'll pick up some tips, and put comments in here on the types of maneuvers and things you might want to see me do, so I can highlight them in my videos, because I definitely have lots of maneuvering. If you look here, down this street is actually where BMW Motorcycles of Burbank is at. I'll point it out to you as we pass by it here, but that's where I got all my gear, and it's where I got my bike. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it is here on the right, the blue van there, and then the building, and then the parking lot's gonna be right there. And here I am practicing at the DMV.